Welcome back to the Corey Bak'n Show. In today's episode, we're going to go over this spider farmer tent with the DWC setup that's inside of there. We got to make a couple changes to the DWC because I found a couple things going on in the plants, and we're going to take a look at them in just a second. But as some of the other growers that I watched running the DWC, I noticed that I'm starting to go through some similar stuff that they went through, you know, in their initial grows. Now, again, I'm new to the DWC game. I know I'm gonna get some comments in there, oh, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. I'm new to this, fellas, or women, or whoever's watching this. I'm new to the game, so I'm learning as I go. So, what's going on in here now, let me turn it around so you can see the plants. What's going on in here now is this. And as you can see, there's only 3 plants left in here. We get down just a little lower. Back out. Yeah, here we go. So as you can see, we only got the 3 plants left in here. That one that was back there in that corner there definitely died off. It was a runt from the start. Now, the other 3 were doing fine. And then what I did, excuse me, let me back up a little bit because I missed something there. The original one I put over there was a dud. It died. Then I replaced it with the 5150. The 5150 wasn't doing that well in here either. So I just shut that whole bucket down. Took the 5150 out of there, put it in a 1-gallon pot with some cocoa, and it's recovered and it's doing well. That one back there was the first one that started showing these deficiencies and looking kind of wonky, as you can see he looks like right now. And then these other 2 up here started the same thing, and I could not initially figure out what it was. I'm thinking it was pH, or the pH drift, or sorry about that. That's my arm on my reservoir. The pH drift, or the nutrients. Something was going on with the nutrients. Well, those stayed pretty stable. The pH moved a little bit, but it didn't fluctuate out of range. So I realized that wasn't my issue, and then now this pot here, the front one, for some reason, when I did the initial ppms, it was around like 12. But somehow the very next day I checked it, it jumped all the way up to 2,000. And I'm like, how the hell did that happen? So, but it wasn't affecting the plant. The plant right now still looks pretty good. I took some leaves off of it because it was looking sickly when it started going through its issues. So I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on. So then I remembered, before I got to that point, I was trying to figure out what was going on, and then I was looking down inside my buckets. See, open this up here. So yeah, it's going on again today. My air pump, is acting funky. I'm not understanding. It's running, but for some reason, it is not kicking out the air like it was for some reason. I'm not. There you go. Just kick back on. Now you can see it down in there bubbling. Let me see if you can see this. Now it's bubbling. For a second, when I first opened this up, it wasn't bubbling. For some reason, my airflow and it's barely bubbling in this tent, as you can see. So I'm pretty sure this is one of my issues going on, and then it's not bubbling here at all. That's one of my issues going on here that I'm gonna have to check out. The other thing was the water temperature in these tents. And the root system in this one here looks pretty damn good. You see how well it's growing down there? So that's, we're just gonna go through a few things here. One of the things, and I'm gonna show you that in just a minute. Oh, so let me grab that pen while I'm here. I got that here. Now I'm gonna open this up, and we're gonna take a look together at the pH, the pH of the water, the ppms, and so forth. Again, something is going on with my airflow and the temperature of the water. So that was a big thing too. I realized that yesterday. Let me switch this over to Fahrenheit. All right, let me drop this down in here. And yes, I'm going through that in this tent, this one again. So let me see. I don't know if you can see that. Let me get around this way just a little bit. It's 2080 is the ppms. The pH is 6.0, which is not horrible. One would rather have it around about 5.8, but that's not horrible. But let's check this back. That's funny. This one, the back one now, kind of did the same thing. The ppms are up to 2010, and the pH is 5.9, which is not bad. And let me check this front one here. ppms at 1840, and the pH is 66.1. So, yeah, these are my issues that I'm going through. Oh, I didn't water temp. That was one of the things I'm supposed to be checking. Yeah, now my water temp is ridiculous. And then that's 73. I need this down back in the 60s. Yeah, 73 in that one. It's going to be the same in all of them. 73 and 73. Yeah, so the water temp is too high. So I'm trying to figure out what's causing my water temp to be up as high as it is, or that's just normal. But you know what I'm going to do, check right quick. I just thought about this. I have my outside the tent reservoir sitting right here. So let me check. Excuse my camera work, y'all. Let me check the pH and the ppms inside of here right quick. And this is my reservoir that takes care of this 4x4 here. And let's see what it's doing today. Now the ppms in here are nice. It's 1580. pH is 5.4. That's a little low. Yeah, that's a little low. But I can adjust that, that's fine. But the water temp is just like inside the tent there, it's 74. So that's a little high. But it's all right for this cocoa tent with the cocoa in it. Still want the water temps a little lower than that. But for the DWC, it got to be much lower than that. So we got to get the DWC watered down, temperature of the water down. So I have some water bottles that I have upstairs in my freezer. And I froze about 6 of them so I can keep them on rotation. I'm only going to run these 3 plants in here, and it might only wind up being 2 because that plant back there looks a mess, and I don't know if it's going to catch up to these other ones. Maybe, maybe not. I wanted to flip these a flower a few days ago, but I cannot flip sick plants. So I'm going to work around this. And if I have to, I'll take that one out in the back and put that in some cocoa and let it grow out that way, and just do these front 2, these strawberry blinds is up in the front. Just let them rock out in here if that's what I need to do. But I am definitely going to be taking that air pump out of here today and putting it outside the tent right down on the floor. And the same thing with this humidifier. Going to take that out of here and also put that out here and just run the hose into the side of the tent right up there for the humidity. And that should take care of that. So that's taking out any additional heat that could possibly be being generated inside this tent. So yeah, in this video here, I'm gonna move that stuff around, make any adjustments I need, and then I'm going to also, like I said, put some frozen water bottles that I have down inside the reservoir to help keep this water temperature down. So that's what we got going on for today's video. I'm not going to keep you on here so you have to watch me kind of untangle all this stuff back here. I'm going to make the adjustments, make the moves of these 2 things here, the air pump and the humidifier. I'm going to set them up, like I said, right over here on the floor, run my hoses in, and then I'm going to come back and let y'all see how I made the adjustments there. Then from there, we're going to add the water bottles to these buckets. Be right back. All right, I'm back. I got all my lines hooked up, as you can see, right down here. Got them all running through the door here. Let me get over here so y'all can see my setup over here. Now I have the humidifier set right there. And then right beside that, I don't know if you can see it down in there. There it is. There's the air pump. Now, the air pump, as you can come back over here for 1 second. Now, as you can see, we only got 3 buckets in here now. And we originally had 4, and I had 4 lines ran to the air pump. Now, the air pump has slotted for 4 buckets because each bucket gets 2 lines. So what I did, because they don't have shutoff valves on the air bucket, so you can shut a couple of the lines off. What I did was, I just see if I can pull that back a little bit. I just put 2, let you see it a little bit there. That's a shutoff valve. I just put the 2 lines, I just put shutoff valves on it, and then I shut the valve off. So that's all I did to fix that. But over here with the plants, all of them now are getting ample air from the stones. Let me see if I can get you down in there so you can see that. See that right there is bubbling up nicely. And the one right next to it is doing the same thing. Been plenty. And then the one back here, I got the air stone just in the back. So you can see it bubbling up right down in there. So, yeah, so we got that. Now, with the water temp, I told y'all I froze a couple bottles. Yeah, here we go. I froze 3 water bottles, 6 of them actually. So I got 3, I've used 3 at a time so I can keep them on rotation. So all I'm gonna do now is take the water bottle that I have there. I already got some string that I started tying. Here we go. Got me a line here, make me a little slip knot, and I'm gonna tie it to the top of the bottle, and I'm gonna drop it down into each one of the buckets, and just leave the string off hanging out so I can grab it without having to reach down in. So I'm gonna show you how. Let me stop this right here. I'm gonna hook one up real quick, and then I'm gonna come back and show you what it looks like before I drop it in the bucket. Be right back. All right, I'm back. As you can see, I put a little slip knot right on the top of this bottle. Got my string hanging. Now, the hole in the top of the buckets aren't big enough for the bottle, this whole bottle to fit down into. So I just crack the lid, and I'm gonna drop it down in the hole right here, like so. Sorry about that, my hand worked. Gotta lift this up. Here we go. So yeah, I just dropped it down in there like so. I'm gonna have a piece of string hanging off the back here so it'll come out of the bucket. Matter of fact, I can just put this over in this corner like so, and I'm just gonna have a piece of the string hanging off like so. Close the bucket back, and I can, when I'm ready to get it out of here and switch it out, I can just grab it from here. So it just dangles just like that. Let's see if we can see it in the inside. Nope, it's further enough down in there, in the back, so you can't see it. But what I'm gonna do now, probably should have did that first, was take the temperature of the water. Sorry about that, my watering system just went off on the tent next door. It got kind of loud. I got kind of nervous, like it was watering. Water was running out, but no, it was just running into the pot, excuse me. But yeah, let me take the temperature of I got on Fahrenheit. Let's check it out. Well, I just dropped this in here. So the temperature in there now is down to 71. I don't know if you can see that. 72, there's one of the 72. But right, I'm gonna give it about 30 minutes and I'm gonna come back and see how much the temperature of the water has dropped. Let me check the other ones before I drop the thing in there. Yeah, so it's reading 72 in here now. And maybe the temperature dropped some also because I took out the humidifier and the air pump. So this one is right at 73. So again, I still want to get those temperatures down into the 60s if I can. So what I'm going to do now, and I got that one in there, like I said, I'm going to wait a few and I'm going to come back and I'm going to check the temperature of that bucket right there. But by the time you come back, I have one in each one of these buckets, and we'll check the temperature of the water then. Be right back. But yeah, we're back down here on them. I turned this bucket so it would be easier just to check the temperature like this. But let me stick the probe down in here. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah. See if y'all can see that. 70. We got it down. It was just 69, but it did move up to 70. So yeah, that's just what we needed. So before this, I'll put those things in here. Same thing with that one. 70 degrees. See if you can see it. Oh shit. Sorry about that. Yeah, but it's in the 70. And last but not least, same thing over here. So that's good. pH and all that stuff is fine. Close these. Got the air stones and all of them working like it's supposed to. Now, sorry for the camera work, y'all. Now we just gotta see if these girls are gonna recover. Especially that one back there. I'm gonna give it about 2 more days. If it don't do anything, then I'm gonna take it out of there. I'm gonna pot it in some cocoa and just try to finish it out that way. And then just let these other 2 keep going. Now next thing I'm doing is researching growing in DWC and the nutrients and the supplements and so on and so forth. In here right now, it is strictly just the Floraflex Newts with some cow matter, nothing else. Now, after doing a little bit more research and after I finish this video, I'm gonna go back to checking that out. Might start adding some enzymes or something to the water. Oh, I did also, excuse me, I did put root drip in there also. So, I don't know if that was necessary, but plants don't seem to be bothered. It was only a little bit. It was, I don't even think it wasn't 10 milliliters, excuse me. Tongue tie. It wasn't even that much. But, yeah, we're just going to keep an eye on these girls now. I got to turn my exhaust. I didn't realize my intake fan back there is off. But yeah, let me turn that back on. But the other fans are running. Yeah, everything else is good. But yeah, man, like I said, we came back, dropped this down to 3 buckets, excuse me. Made some corrections to my lines that you see there. As you see the humidifier and the air pump is no longer in here. Got it all ran out of there now. Humidifier is blowing up through there. So we'll just keep an eye on these girls in the coming days, and then we'll determine what to do next. That thing that there though, that one there, I don't think she's gonna make it if I keep her at there anyway. I hope she turns herself around. But if not, we definitely come up out of here. All right, we're back. This is actually the very next day. I came in here this morning and I realized this plant, which was sitting back in the corner there, remember I had 3 of them in here, was sitting back there in the corner. And let's see, can you see this? Here we go. Here are the 2 buckets that we took out of here. I need to clean them up. And the reason why I took this plant out of here, and you see how ugly it look here, right? Get you in the frame here. See how it was growing. It wasn't doing too well, and I couldn't figure out what it was. So then I got to moving, the stem around, the plant around, and I look in here. Look how that thing started dying off in there. I know there's too much light for y'all to see, but yeah, my whole thing was dying off right there. So I know it's too, we're right in there, but you see that, look at that. And here's the root, get up under here, and I had some root rot going on. So now it's been out of the water for a little while, so it's a little darker than it was initially when I took it out. And now I went and looked at the other roots. And over here on this bucket here, I had a little root rot. I think it's this one. Let me see. Yeah, it's this one. See that little browning in there? But I know part of it is the newts too, because the newts does make it change a little bit. But part of it is the beginning of some root rot beginning. Excuse me. I put my root drip in here, and it definitely cleared it up a little bit, so it's not as dark as it was. And the other roots look really well. Let you look at the other one real quick. And the root system over here is white. No problems whatsoever. Another thing I did, since we down due to the, let me let you see it in here, to just 2 buckets, I just added the extra air stone. You see I got one there and one back over there in that corner there. And the bucket over here, same deal. Air stone there, and it's an air stone back over there in that corner there. Extra air to the roots. Surely it won't hurt it. Definitely should help it. But yeah, the plants itself are looking good. Let me see if we can get up on that. I looked at one of them. The stalk is pretty thick. Look how thick this is. See if I can, so you can see that just a little better here. And get in there. Yeah, right there. Pretty thick stalk. Same thing over here. Right there. So yeah. Now we gotta weed it down just to the 2. And both of these are the strawberry blondes. The other one is the girl crushes. I have 1, or was it 2? I think it's 2. It's 2 girl crushers in my veg tent. And the 5150 that we tried to grow in here. I have that one in that veg tent too. And all of those are doing fine. I put them in 1-gallon pots of cocoa, and they're doing fine in there. But I just brought you back this day today, just so y'all could see what had happened to my 3rd plant that was in here. So we're just down to 2, and it'll be cool to just manage these 2 here. And what I would hope to do within this next week, if these plants agree with me and make it through the next week and stay healthy, we're going to flip these to flower. So yeah, again, this is a real quick one. Just wanted to come back and show you that. So in about a week or 2, when y'all see the next video, y'all just see these 2 plants here. See you then. But that's all we have for y'all in this week's episode. If you like what you saw, give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Oh yeah, leave me a comment. If y'all see something I'm in here doing wrong, and once again, this is my first time around, please leave me a comment. It'll definitely help out, and I definitely would appreciate it. But yeah, leave me a comment, share, and subscribe. And until the next one, stay baked.